Welcome to the deep dive. Today it's all about you. We're taking a really close look at some fascinating work from the Berkeley Wellbeing Institute.
That's right. They've identified these 9 kind of non-negotiable skills for achieving what you might call genuine success and, making your biggest goals happen.
Yeah, think of it as a personal blueprint, something for like accelerated self-development.
And what we've pulled out, it's more than just a list of habits you sometimes see. These are real tools, social, emotional, practical things that they all work together.
Synergistically.
Exactly. And the main idea is that really focusing on these 9 areas, cultivating them, that's the most powerful thing you can do for success.
And there's a pretty compelling story behind this too, isn't there? The author's own experience.
Oh, absolutely. It's quite the transformation. They mentioned, just 10 years ago, working minimum wage, retail.
Right. With basically no connections and no money, the classic starting point for many people.
And then you fast forward, and this same person gets a PhD from Berkeley, writes a book about finding happiness in this tech age we live in.
Which is a huge topic in itself.
Huge. And on top of that, launches programs on things like purpose-driven business, managing stress, personal happiness.
It's quite a journey, shows real leverage. And the claim we're digging into is that this massive shift, right, from minimum wage to academia and successful entrepreneurship, it's all down to learning and actually using these self-development techniques. That's a big claim.
It is a big claim. So let's see how these 9 skills actually support that. Where do we begin? How we frame things.
Exactly. Skill number 1. This feels foundational. Develop a growth mindset.
Right. And it's crucial to understand the flip side first, the fixed mindset.
Okay.
What's that look like? Well, the research defines it as believing your abilities are just, fixed, set in stone.
So you avoid challenges.
Totally.
Yeah.
You shy away from anything where you might look bad or feel embarrassed or even humiliated. Appearing competent becomes more important than actually getting competent.
That makes sense. You protect your ego instead of growing.
Precisely. And by doing that, you dodge the very experiences you need for growth. The growth mindset flips that completely.
How so?
With a growth mindset, you value the learning, the improvement process, way more than how smart or skilled you look right now.
So you embrace challenges, even if you might fail.
Yes. You see challenges as opportunities. You don't mind the risk of looking clumsy because you have this core belief that you can build new skills if you put in the effort.
And that belief fuels the hard work needed.
It absolutely does. It's the engine.
Okay, so if growth mindset is the engine, skill number 2 sounds like the navigation system. Develop your ability to think like an entrepreneur.
Yeah, and what's really interesting here is this isn't just for people starting businesses. That's key. The source argues everyone benefits. Because thinking like an entrepreneur forces you to do, basically 3 critical things.
Which are?
1, you have to be innovative, right? Find new solutions. 2, you have to plan for everything that could go wrong, all possible outcomes.
That sounds intense, like a pre-mortem?
Exactly like a pre-mortem. And 3rd, you need to be really good at getting other people to buy into your vision, your dream, investors, team members, even just family.
Okay, I see the business application. But how does planning for all negative outcomes help me if I'm, say, not launching a startup?
It's about risk mitigation in your own life. Think about it. You imagine your personal goal has failed. Why? List all the reasons.
So you anticipate the roadblocks.
You anticipate them, and you build more resilient plans before you even start. The source gives examples like maybe you're planning for early retirement, or maybe you're tackling something huge, like climbing Mount Everest.
Wow, okay, so it's adaptive problem solving for your own goals.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
Applied adaptive innovation for your life.
That's a really powerful 1-2 punch. Believing you can grow, and then having the strategic mind to plan for the bumps.
Yeah.
But, what if you have the best strategy, the best mindset, but internally, you're a wreck? This brings us to a big shift in the list, doesn't it? The internal stuff.
Absolutely. We pivot inward now. Skill number 3, learn to calm yourself and de-stress.
Seems obvious, but maybe it's not.
It's essential, but easily overlooked. High stress, especially chronic stress, it's not just unpleasant. It actively messes with your body's systems.
Like being stuck in fight or flight.
Exactly. And when you're stuck there, your brain power, the very energy you need for strategic thinking or learning new things, it just gets drained, diverted.
Cognitive friction, you called it.
Right. The source is really clear. If you aren't actively working on stress reduction techniques, meditation, exercise, whatever works for you, you're basically kneecapping yourself. You can't engage properly with the other skills.
So managing stress is like clearing the runway for takeoff.
Perfectly put. It's the prerequisite for focus, for high performance.
Okay, so if we manage stress, we can then start working on how we react to things, right? Which leads to skill 4. Develop your positivity reflex.
And this isn't about just, thinking happy thoughts all the time. It's not passive.
What is it then?
It's a trained response, a cognitive habit you pull out when things inevitably go sideways, because life will throw curveballs.
So when something bad happens.
Your first reflex isn't despair or blame. It's an immediate mental shift to reframe it. Okay, this happened. What's the next step I can take?
It sounds almost like mental first aid. You address the immediate issue and focus on moving forward.
That's a good analogy. It stops difficult times from completely defeating you or making everything seem hopeless. It keeps the momentum going.
Right. Maintain momentum.
And this focus on, our internal state, our regulation, it leads us to the most physical skill on the list. We're jumping ahead slightly to skill number 8, take care of your health.
Okay, grouping this makes sense, mind and body. But why is health listed as a skill alongside mindset? Isn't it just something that happens? Or doesn't?
Well, that raises the key question, right?
Yeah.
What happens when we let our health slide? Maybe because we're so stressed chasing goals.
Yeah.
The author's own story is a really stark warning here. They talk about a period of neglecting their health, which led to some serious physical problems. Mold illness, parasites, SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth.
Wow, that sounds absolutely awful. Debilitating.
It was severe. And this physical breakdown caused by that chronic stress and neglect, it basically, and these are their words, stole a year of their life. Progress just stopped.
So ignoring your body completely undermines all the mental work.
It sabotages everything. The advice from the source, start simple, focus on gut health, try to limit your exposure to toxins, build a stable physical foundation for your mind to operate from.
Okay, that connection is crystal clear now. Health isn't separate, it's integral.
Foundational.
So we've built this internal foundation mindset, stress management, positivity, health. Now we look outwards. And skill 5 hits very close to home for probably everyone listening. Develop a healthier relationship with your phone.
The author doesn't mince words here. Devices, they say, they just suck you in.
Yeah, they do.
They eat up your finite resources, your time, your mental energy, your emotions. And if self-development is about learning new skills, you need focus for that. You need attention.
But that attention is constantly being, as they put it, eaten by tech.
Exactly. It's an attention crisis, really.
Yeah.
If all our best cognitive energy goes into scrolling or reacting to notifications.
There's nothing left for the deep work, the learning, the planning.
Right. Now, the solution isn't necessarily to ditch your phone entirely. It's about learning to outsmart your smartphone.
How do you do that?
Setting boundaries. Deciding how you want to use the tech, making sure you're in control, using it for your benefit, not letting it use you and drain you.
Getting back control of your focus.
Which is vital for the next skill, number 6, developing yourself to be more resilient.
Resilience. We hear that word a lot. How does the Berkeley research frame it specifically for achieving goals?
Well, it's definitely about bouncing back after a setback, but more specific than that. It's the emotional strength that lets you handle failure, process it, and not quit.
So it connects back to the growth mindset.
Directly. Resilience is what allows that growth mindset to actually survive long enough to see results. Success almost always involves failure along the way. Resilience determines how many hits you can take and keep going.
It's the staying power.
Precisely. Which ties into skill 7. Stay mindful of the present moment.
Now that one feels a bit counterintuitive. If you're striving for big future goals, why focus on the now?
Well, because that striving can lead to burnout if you're only focused on the destination. Mindfulness, being present, lets you actually enjoy the journey.
Appreciate the small wins, the process itself.
Exactly. And just the simple good parts of being alive right now, even while you're working hard towards something else, it fuels sustainable motivation.
That makes sense. It prevents the I'll be happy when trap.
Right. And, the author is refreshingly honest about this one. They admit mindfulness is something they still struggle with.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and they point out that even if you nail all the other skills, lacking that presence can still limit your sort of long-term sustainable success and happiness. It shows it's an ongoing practice.
That honesty is helpful. It makes it feel more achievable, knowing even experts struggle.
Definitely. It reinforces that this is all a journey, not a destination. Which brings us nicely to the last one, the kind of capstone skill, number 9. Keep developing yourself in new ways.
So this pulls it all together.
Yeah, it's the synthesis. The science backs this up. The more varied your skill set, the wider your developmental base.
The better equipped you are for complex challenges.
You got it. You're more likely to achieve those big, ambitious goals. It's about, like, compounding your knowledge, letting ideas from one area spark insights in another.
Cross-pollination.
Nice term for it, yeah.
Yeah.
And the advice is simple. Try learning new things. Could be emotional skills, could be a physical activity, a mental puzzle. Always look for ways to add new tools to your toolbox.
You build a wider range of capabilities, you increase your odds of success.
That's the core idea. Compound your success by compounding your skills.
Okay, so let's recap. What does this all mean? We've walked through this blueprint. 9 essential skills, social, emotional, practical, identified by this Berkeley analysis.
And the big takeaway is that personal self-development isn't just a nice-to-have. It's presented as the main driver for achieving pretty much whatever you set your mind to.
Success isn't, guaranteed 100% ever, but having these tools, this robust set, it dramatically stacks the odds in your favor.
We've seen this powerful mix, right? The mindset for learning, that's growth. The strategy thinking like an entrepreneur. The internal well-being needed to actually do the work managing stress, taking care of your health.
And then the endurance skills, resilience, mindfulness to keep you focused and moving forward, especially when things get tough.
It's really a whole-person approach to achieving big things, starting from the inside out.
It really is a holistic approach.
So here's a final thought, something for you to chew on. Remember that starting point we talked about. Minimum wage, no connections, no cash. The author overcame some fundamental hurdles.
Yeah.
Now look at these 9 skills again. Growth mindset, health, resilience, phone habits, all of them. Ask yourself, which one of these skills, if you're really focused on mastering it first in your life, right now, which one would give you the biggest immediate boost, the most leverage?
Find your biggest lever.
Find your biggest lever. Start there.
That's a powerful way to end. Find your starting line. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive.